What's up?
Nothing much.
So, see if anyone's showing up here. A little quiet so far. It was a last minute deal, so
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's all good.
Wanted to congratulate you first of all for the win at Hickory. Great job
Thank you.
there.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. That was the first Carolina Classic. It was made it a little interesting.
Yep.
Pot was pretty good.
Sure.
So
yeah, I was surprised there was a ton of stuff given away at the weigh-in. I think everybody was really surprised how much stuff was actually given away at the weigh-in. That was really good.
Yeah, it was great to get all three. Get three clubs get together, plus the support from the local store there, Outdoor Supply.
Yeah,
hooked us up pretty good, and we were able to scrape up a few extra things, make sure it was a good event. So
yeah,
I was happy. It's fun to do that. Love giving away prizes for people, and gives everyone a chance to go home with something, which is cool. So
yeah, exactly.
So someone won a nice kayak too. So that was pretty cool.
True. I bought some tickets. I didn't win it.
Yeah, me neither. I bought like 4 tickets.
Yeah, I bought 5 myself.
Yeah. But the Yak Attack Black Packs, everything else was able to give them. We raised enough money to buy extra stuff, so it was cool.
Really good that was good.
Yeah, we had a good time. So this event, let's see, leading up to it, did you what was your thoughts on the event itself?
Yeah, I'd never been to Hickory, and it didn't look like I knew there was largemouth, still a sizable amount of largemouth in the lake. It's based on like YouTube videos and research that I had done, just trying to lead up to it. But yeah, I went up on Mother's Day for the first time. It was a disaster. As everybody knows, boat traffic's terrible in Hickory, so it was bad. I mean, I was luckily I have a native Titan, and one of the most stable boats on the market, because I feel like if you're in something out there and you're not prepared and you're up shallow and a wave crashes on you, it was pretty nasty. It was bad. I was talking to some buddies and was like, this is terrible. So, but I had a pretty uneventful day of practice up there on Mother's Day, and it was pretty warm, and fish were definitely still confused as far as what they wanted to do. I'm sure there were still some on bed. I wasn't really looking for them then. Caught a couple spots, found a couple schools of spots. Went up in a couple creeks, looked around, didn't see a single fish. Just kind of, messed around really, just try to see what was going on with the lake. Didn't get up there at daylight either, so didn't get to see any shad spawn, anything like that. So going into the tournament, I was planning on dropping it. Honestly, I really was. I figured it would be like a Norman for me. I hate those deep clear water lakes, and it actually ended up playing out pretty good. I mean, obviously it was a little obvious to me what they were doing once I got there on Friday afternoon and had about an hour and a half before 4 to get off the water. And it was one of those things where I caught a 19.5 in practice that afternoon, found the only piece of grass around, stayed close to Wittenberg, the ramp, and just told myself, if they're doing that and I can catch them in the same way tomorrow, if there's 19.5 here, there's more fish. And it was all around bluegill beds. So I saw a good fish in practice on Mother's Day near a spillway. Looked like a 18 to 20. I couldn't really tell. It was chasing pretty actively bluegill. So yeah, I mean, the bluegill bed pattern pretty much paid off. I mean, it was tough, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
slow,
For
to be
sure.
honest with you. It was really, really slow.
Yeah. Yeah. I went up and practiced. I didn't do well at all. I mean, I found some small spots, but I wasn't getting anything
Yeah.
good.
I knew I wasn't going to make a living off spots. Nobody ever made a living off spots, right?
No, no. It's, I thought I found some areas that could be promising, and
Yeah.
so I had to kind of wing it with that.
Mhm.
It didn't
Yeah.
work out. So,
Yeah. I mean, I didn't leave the ramp until like 10:30, to be honest with you.
really.
Wittenberg is a big ramp. I mean, a lot of fish are released there from
Mhm.
tournaments, stuff like that. So there's a lot of shallow water around Wittenberg. So I figured, maybe it was a good spot to be for largemouth. I saw one pretty good one, probably like 4 or 5 pounders. It was good. It was a good fish, and
Mhm.
was just like, let me fish around first thing in the morning around Wittenberg, and then I ended up not leaving until going on lunchtime. So
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
yeah,
And you said you were around Mr. Brian Chokus as well, right?
yeah, I could see Brian pretty much all day. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he was watching me the way I was watching him, but at the end of the day, I'll start at the beginning of the day in a second. But at the end of the day, I was like scrambling to try to find an upgrade. And I saw Brian catch one of like, I don't know, it had to have been like 145. And I was like, shoot, like that he definitely just cold. He netted it. So I was like, he's gonna beat me. I know he's gonna beat me. He's been out there dragging on a jig or something. I don't know what he was doing, but to be honest
Yeah,
with you, but he was fishing a cut right there at Wittenberg that I'd looked at on sea maps and all kinds of stuff and graphed it and like didn't see any fish, but he obviously knew they were there. I didn't, so that's his game. I suck out deep. That's why these next two tournaments are going to be really tough for me. So
yeah,
it's going to be it'll be interesting for sure. We'll see what
yeah.
happens.
It's definitely gonna be tight. It's gonna get interesting with the points because now people are gonna start dropping the bad ones, and
Yeah, yeah,
I think Brian was down a little bit in points, but if you look at it, he's got 2 wins. You got 2 wins, so
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
a decent tournament for either one of you is going to shoot you way up even more. So
yeah, yeah. It's been fun. I mean, obviously, I don't have near as much experience tournament fishing as he does or a lot of people. So when it gets long in the tooth and things get tough, I mean, I try to go in as confident as possible. Randleman's like effectively my home lake, but it's really, really tough this time of year. I live really close to Randleman, but actually don't fish it much at all. So
yeah,
it's you know, trying to chase the trail around and pre-fish everywhere, you get distracted. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Randleman. It kind of treated me like Harris did, where I was terrible at Harris until I figured out the whole pattern when the grass, and the grass disappeared. So that went to crap. And then Randleman, I finally started figuring it out. Then all of a sudden, what I figured out was just gone. So
yeah.
so it's
Yeah, it can be
make
tough
it
for
interesting.
sure. It can be really tough.
Yeah. Yeah, we did take a year off from Randleman last year, so I think it's going to make it interesting this year to see if it's gotten any different. But and we're
And
hitting it a
it's
little earlier too, which I think is
that's
good.
true. It's in Gate City this year, isn't it?
It's in Gate City as well. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Last year we messed around. We took Macintosh and Randleman out of Gate City and
Yeah.
trying to mix it up and see what these other lakes could do. So this year we put them back in. So
Sure.
and it's usually Randleman and Macintosh that end up getting in the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Those other lakes have them, but more. I think the majority of people just know Randleman and they know Macintosh better, so they go there.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah, they're normally in the trails too. So
yeah, exactly. So right now you're in first with you get a 12-point lead on Leland. Leland's a rookie this year, and he's up there battling. He could pull a cruise and take both.
yeah. Yeah, I yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough for sure for everybody. I don't think. I mean, I look at Hickory. I caught a 10-incher like second cast on top water first thing in the morning. Didn't upgrade it till like 1:30. Spent like 2 hours on one fish. I sight fished all day, right?
Yeah.
So literally spent spend like 2 hours on one fish. I feel like Randleman's going to be tougher than that. One, because I don't know if they're going to be out deep, they're going to be shallow, what they're going to be doing. We've had a really cold spring. I think the fish are in this straight up just disaster right now where they don't know what to do, where to go.
Seems like that. Yeah.
Seems, I mean, not even just random. I mean, everywhere. Right. So
yeah.
I don't know. It'll be really interesting for sure. But yeah, I mean, Leland could take it. I don't know. I mean, my brother's right there. I mean, he's got a lot more experience than I do. That's for sure. So there's a ton of people that can snatch it. Right.
Yeah. It's anyone's game, really. I mean, it's, you get Randleman time, you get the Tuckertown will be an interesting one. I'm not sure how many people know that lake well.
Yeah.
I know we've had some nice events there that put out some nice fish.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Joey Sullivan in there. Brian's right up in there. So it's pretty close race still. So no one's really running away with it. I mean, you guys have you and Brian obviously have the best chance at it because you get two W's under your belt. But
yeah,
I mean, everyone's within a couple hundred points, and everyone's got some room to improve. So
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, there's still a lot of fishing to be done for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then with the bigger points for Gate City Classic counting, that's going to be it's going to be big for sure.
Yep.
That played one year with Henry and Rick Rowland.
Yeah.
Henry almost got him because Rick had a bad day at the Gate City Classic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw Rick at the end of the day. We pre-fished the same day, and we both had a decent pre-fishing day, doing about the same thing, and then it didn't happen on that day. So
yeah, never.
I think that's the only time I've seen Rick look like defeated. His look on his face was just, he was disgusted.
I've heard that Rick is really, really patient.
He is.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Through the grapevine, he's super.
He'll pick it apart and he'll figure it out. And it's you give him enough time, he's gonna figure it out. So, so it should be it's gonna be getting interesting. This is the time of year where it starts really getting, you gotta really start paying attention.
Yeah, it gets tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you going to do any more tournaments besides CKA this month?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I got a week of vacation slammed right before Randleman too. So 1 weekend and no practice type deal. And that's pretty much it. I mean, between work and vacation and stuff like that, I mean, just get out there when you can type deal and put all my eggs in the CKA basket this year, really. I mean, if there was a couple saltwater events or something like that during the middle of the summer, I definitely would have tried to fish those. But other than that, it's been pretty much all CKA focused. So, well, I mean, with fish Santee, but other than that,
it's hard not to fish Santee.
Yeah. Santee in April is or I guess was it March or April? I think it was April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st. Yeah. And it's such a big bag potential lake. It's hard not to in that time, especially that time of year.
That's right. Yeah.
That's when they're
that's right.
So I know. See who's got CCKF's going to Tar River this weekend.
Yep.
I believe Foothills has an event somewhere too. I can't remember where it is. No.
It's Norman.
Is it Norman?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Norman. I saw that. Yeah, the Tar River looks like an interesting place, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a little further away, but it looked like it could fit a lot of people that like to fish shallow or could just find them up shallow, really. I don't know. Never even looked at the navionics or anything on the lake. I don't know what the depth of it really looks like, but I know there's like cypress trees and stuff. So looked like Santee from the photo I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I mean, I know I commented on Hank's post and CCKF, I think. I throw a glide bait through there, obviously kidding, but yeah.
It's interesting down there. I mean, Neuse River was fun. I fished that one. I haven't fished Tar yet. I might do that soon. I know my son brought it up. He wanted to take his boat down there, so I might get that one soon. But I'll be at Chickamauga this weekend, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we get KBF this weekend, so we could.
A
few of us will be down that way.
Yeah.
Which hard. That one's another one. It's hard for me to miss is Chickamauga because that lake fishes really well.
Yeah.
Good fun lake to fish.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never fished Chickamauga before. Never really traveled that much. So
Yeah.
never, I mean, obviously still fairly new to bass fishing, tournament fishing, and really traveling for it. So
Yeah.
Santee's about as far as I've gone for it, really. So
yeah, it's some of them are fun, some of them not so much.
yeah, yeah, I didn't think Hickory was going to be fun, to be honest with you. I was worried about Hickory in a sense, right? So
Yeah,
I was prepared to suck for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was having the same thoughts because I've been there a couple times too, and it just kicks my ass every time. I can't figure it out. So this one was no different as far as that went.
Yeah.
But apparently, I should have taken a right and not a left, and there was fish on beds. Which
So I only had one fish on bed that I found that Friday at practice, and it was the last fish that I could find anywhere that was on bed. Saw a lot of empty bed. Fry garters, stuff like that. Ended up coaling with a fry garter. But first thing in the morning, I caught that 10-incher, and then I moved on to that bed fish, which I got a little bit of sun up. And it was just the male the day before. Saturday morning, there was a female there. And I was like, you flip in, fishing a jig, standard practice. And of course, the male bit like right away. And I was like, okay, so this is good. He was like, I think he was 17.25 or 17. I don't remember, to be honest with you. And then the female never showed back up. And I was like, he's a pretty good sized male. I know the female's got to be at least like a 19 or 20, right? But yeah, she never showed back up. I checked on her that afternoon. Even that thing, I went back over there before I left and just went around the corner and kept fishing. I checked again and I was like, oh, I screwed it up. I should have waited until I could really get good eyes on her, you know what I mean, to see how she was reacting. But I didn't have time to waste. So
yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I've had that problem with where was I? The tournament in South Carolina. I always forget the name of that lake. Well, bass was just there.
Yeah, it can be brutal. Sight fishing can be brutal too when you see a big one and you spook and it doesn't come back or it's not committed. It can be very, very tough for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you spend 45 minutes on it, finally hook it, and it pops out.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you stuck her and she ain't gonna bite again. So
it's for real.
Yeah, people don't like it, but it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it the right way. Like you have to. If a fish is not committed, you can't make a fish be committed. You can't spend too much time on them. You have to be efficient with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I try to do like a lot of sight fishing this spring because it was my first like real committed year into bass fishing. I was trying to learn as much about the characteristics and the interaction as possible because I've never really done that much of it, and learned a lot. I mean, I love to sight fish and like saltwater and stuff too when you can see drum and everything. So I had a lot of fun this spring. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure all that's gone. All that's done now. It's June. So you never know. You might look around and see one, but I think most of it's fry garters tailing off and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think they're going to start probably heading their way out.
Yeah.
Water's starting to warm up again. It's getting, I think especially by the time we get to Randleman, it's going to be.
It'll be warm.
It'll be summertime.
Yeah, it'll be warm for sure. Yeah,
they'll be setting that. It'll be interesting where they set up in at Randleman, see how that works. But
yeah. I mean, it's 2 launches. I'm assuming most of the field will go to Southwest Park, to be honest with you. I mean, the non-motor side. I've never spent a lot of time on the motor side myself, so I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be fun. We're gonna call them. They'll open up early for us.
Okay.
So they'll open Southwest Park. Will open probably at like 5, so we'll be able to get up and get in there and launch and fish at 6.
Yeah.
The only issue is the main with the other ramp is they won't open early. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They won't for anybody pretty much, as far as I know. I never got them to agree to it. So.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's well, yeah. Are we launching it? Yeah, I guess same as always. Launch at 6, lines into 6.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. I think they open at 6 or 6:30 this time of year.
Yeah, I think it's 6. And
Yeah.
by the time you get in the water, if you're going to go fish the
Yeah.
main lake, could just be a little behind. But
Yeah, that's not life threatening. Put it that way.
no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're on fish, you shouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah. If your spot's good enough, they'll be there.
That's it. I've done pretty well over that side, but not. Actually, I think I caught more numbers. I had more bigger number days on the main lake than I did on the far end at the kayak only park. But I'll probably end up going out of Southwest Park, even though that hill's brutal.
The hill is pretty brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like,
yeah. Yeah. If you got like a 90-degree day and you got to take out right there and then truck up it and you've focused all day, it can be pretty tiring for sure.
Yeah. We got to see if I can get them to use the golf cart again and give us some service from the ramp to the parking lot.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they did that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. They did it a couple times, but it depends on who's there, if they're staffed well enough or whatever. So
right. Yeah.
See how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
And this one's sponsored by Miller Shed Hauling, which is Robert Miller. If you don't know him, he's one of the anglers. So he also added $100 bonus for the second largest big bass. So we'll have a little extra pot for that.
Cool.
So, should be a good deal. Should be fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So good deal, man.
Should be at least one big bag caught at random, and I'd say.
There will be. Someone always finds them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Hopefully
right.
a bunch of people find them, but yeah, definitely. There's always one that'll get them. So
yeah.
We'll see how it turns out. Should be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. Well, man, thanks for coming on. I hope some people got some insight onto, how your day went and maybe they learned something.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, hopefully so. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we'll probably talk again soon, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Don't get your hopes up. Yeah, don't get your hopes up.
All right. All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you soon, and have a good one.
Thanks, man.
All right, later.